Hello, I'm attorney Jared Haddock, and on this installment of Fresh Starts, I'll be discussing the need for debtors contemplating bankruptcy to be represented by a qualified attorney. People often ask me, do I really need an attorney to file for bankruptcy? Well, the short answer is yes. It's not required, of course. You always have the right to represent yourself, but it is almost never advisable to do so. After all, I have the right to perform my own root canal or my own open heart surgery too, but I would never expect to have outstanding results doing so. Look, Chapter 7 bankruptcy is a federal case in which everything that you have an ownership interest in, however small, must be properly disclosed and exempted from liquidation as part of a bankruptcy estate that's administered by a trustee for the benefit of creditors to whom you owe money and are trying to discharge that debt. It just isn't a process that works well by trial and error, like some dessert recipe you've always wanted to master. The stakes are just too high. Mistakes are often expensive when they're made innocently, and felony offenses when they're not. And Chapter 13 bankruptcies, while they don't involve asset liquidations, can be incredibly complicated, involving repayment plans for a period of 3 to 5 years in duration. The complexity alone would warrant professional assistance, even if the stakes aren't as high. While the legal answer then is no, you don't need an attorney to file for bankruptcy, any more than you need a surgeon for a triple heart bypass, the real answer is yes, you should have one anyway. Now, there are non-attorney petition preparers out there. They offer their limited services of merely assisting in the preparation of the bankruptcy forms very inexpensively. Personally, I wouldn't advise using their services, however. They're not allowed to give legal advice at all, and, well, maybe I'm just over-accommodating, but I still cannot figure out how on earth someone could possibly prepare bankruptcy petitions and schedules without offering some legal services or advice in some way. At any rate, I was taught that if the price of something important is too low to be true, it probably is, and we tend to get what we pay for. Be careful if you decide to go this route. Again, you should get up and run, not walk, away from anyone who is not willing to proudly disclose in a written statement filed with the bankruptcy court exactly who they are, how much they've been paid, and what services they are providing. There are far too many scams out there, and while the Justice Department diligently tries to stop them, you should be aware of how best to protect yourself. No matter how low their amazingly great prices are, anyone who is unwilling to disclose in that written statement filed with the bankruptcy court, again, exactly who they are and what they're charging for what they're doing, simply should never have either your trust or your money, period. However simple they tell you it is to represent yourself after they help you fill out the forms needed, just remember, this is your federal case, not theirs, and you will be personally accountable for it, not them. If ever there was a time to make sure that a reputable and qualified attorney is representing you during a federal case, this would be one of those times. Most attorneys offer free initial consultations, so you really have nothing to lose by attending one. I hope you found this information helpful. I thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you a better future.